Google Analytics is a great tool for blogging, but have you ever thought it could help you improve your affiliate marketing? Well, when you're trying to improve your affiliate marketing, Google Analytics is one great place to go. Hi, I'm Liz Stapleton, host of the Blogger Breakthrough Summit, and this is the podcast where I share some tidbits from our amazing summit speakers on how you can improve your blogging so that you work less and earn more. So let's go ahead and get to it. Today, I've got some info from the awesome Matt Giovanisi of MoneyLab.co and the co-founder of Lasso, which is an awesome affiliate marketing plugin that I do enjoy using. So let's go ahead and dive in.
Every single time I send out an email on MoneyLab, I have Google Analytics, real-time analytics open just to see how many people come to my site. Or if I tweet something, like I will just look. It's not helpful. I learn nothing from it. I just get dopamine. As I guess I get this huge dopamine hit. So, for me, it's for me, and I'm assuming for a lot of other people, like that is what analytics is. It is just a time waster. You know, there are things that I have started using it for, like slowly but surely, finding out like which pages on my website get the most traffic, and then work on those to maybe get more email subscribers before going and trying to like optimize the entire website. I'm going to optimize just one post and see if I can get more subscribers. And then you're like, well, okay, am I getting more subscribers if I optimize this? Wait, how do I figure that out? Oh, I have to set up a goal. Okay, well, how do I do that? And then you start down to like,
sometimes you're just like, I don't know how to tell.
And then
get to the point where you're like, goals. Like, I feel like it's not talked about. You can set up goals in Google Analytics and things like that.
Yeah, and the other part of it too is like a lot of, for me, I noticed that like there's discrepancies, and there will be because like people have privacy things set on their browsers, and so like you used to be able to know like which keywords people were searching for, but now because of all the privacy issues, like you see a lot of not set. So that's not really that helpful. And you start to go, well, like, is this even helpful? But you have to build out the entire thing. But what I've learned is not to do everything at once, or not to look at Google Analytics as like solving all my problems. It's, I have a question, and you have to come up with the question first, and then go into analytics and figure out how to answer that question with data. And so that is the way, like when I set up anything in Google Analytics or whatever, like I usually write out a list of questions in Asana, and then kind of like I have to scrutinize each question and say, well, is that question actually going to make me more money if I answer it?
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah.
Is it going to bring me, depending on what your goal is.
Time to figure this question out and the answer to it.
Yeah, you really need to like, hone in on the question and then go like, is this worth my time to answer? Yeah. And then if it is, you can probably answer the question using free tools from Google, including Google Analytics, Google Tag Manager, and Google Data Studio. Which is really just essentially all Google Analytics.
Yeah.
And then there's some questions that you're like, well, maybe Google Analytics isn't the tool to solve this answer. Like maybe, oh, are people subscribing to my website on this page? Well, maybe, your email service provider answers that question and not Google Analytics. And they both can, but there's going to be discrepancies. The thing for me is like, well, I just need one set of numbers to trust or at least one KPI to trust that I can go, okay, well, I'm just going to make that number better. Yeah. Right. And when it comes to affiliate marketing, which I know that's primarily the reason we're talking about analytics.
I stumbled on this. I was like, there's got to be a way for me to figure out where people are clicking on my affiliate links. And then I started there, and then I ended up getting your course and jumping on. I was like,
yes, there's definitely a way to do it.
Yeah.
Depending on the affiliate program, the part of the issue that I always run into with affiliate marketing and measuring is finding out like the actual dollar amount conversion rate number.
So
again,
the number of clicks, but how many of those clicks from that page converted? Maybe it's a small number, and a page that doesn't send as much but converts the people better.
Yes,
that's where it gets nitty-gritty data, figuring that stuff out.
100%. And so there are clever ways to do it. And the biggest question you have to ask yourself is like, is it worth my time to do it? Because the gathering of data and building out these spreadsheets or these data studios or whatever, like, is a lot of work.
Yeah.
But, once you do the work, you're like, okay, well then, once you do this work to figure out the answer to your question, like, okay, which, the answer in my case would be like, which page on my website is bringing in the most affiliate income, or which pages on my site are bringing the least amount of affiliate income, because that's maybe a better question. Because let's say if I went with the first question, which page on my website brings in the most money, it's already bringing in the most money.
Yeah.
So what would you do knowing that information? Well, I would go, cool. I would be like, yeah, dopamine hit. But
create some new Pinterest pins for it or something, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Yes, you could say, well, I'll just drive more traffic to that blog post, and since I know it converts the best. So yes, you're right. That's one way to do it. The other way is, or the other question you could ask is like, yeah, which pages on my website are bringing in the least amount, and go, well, that's an easy win, because then you can say which pages on my website are bringing in the least amount of affiliate links, but get the most amount of traffic. So just going onto those pages, and adding useful affiliate links will actually earn you more money like that day.
Yeah.
And then you can start getting more nitty gritty, like, well, okay, which affiliate links on this page are bringing in the most clicks and which aren't?
So we've kind of talked about it a little bit, but how do you kind of build that into a system? Because you said, I used to like check my stats all the time, and that's not very effective. So how do you build it into a system to like work on your, because I feel like if you're going day by day, like, oh, which post today, that's not effective either. So how often are you looking at it, making adjustments? How is that sort of a system you use?
You could do it a few ways. Like you could have like stats Saturday, stats Sunday, whatever, where you take a very specific
alliteration.
Right. Yeah, I do. You take a very, I was like, it could be stats Friday. That's boring.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
But you could like take a single day once a week if you wanted to, bi-weekly, once a month, whatever, and go. And this is, as far as the system is concerned, like, so I heavily use Asana. I kind of live and breathe by it. And what I love about Asana the most is recurring tasks. So basically, like, I will do the work to set up all the things that I need to set up to start tracking the stuff. But when you initially set something up, it's going to take some time to collect that data. So you might, and I'm the worst at this, but I also know how to fix it. So like the worst I am is like, I added a new affiliate link on this page. I'll check it in 2 hours. I'll check it tomorrow. It's like, give it a month, or give it or give it a couple of weeks, depending on how much traffic you have.
Yeah.
If you have not a lot of traffic, give yourself at least a month. But if you're, hey, if you're doing well and you're getting like thousands of people a day, well, then you might be able to check it quicker. So what I do is basically set up a recurring task in Asana that has a link to whatever like exact thing I need to check. So I can just say like, I can basically set it up in Asana and then forget it. Now, that means don't bookmark it. Just like pretend it doesn't exist, try your hardest, and then trust that Asana on that day will pop up with a task like, check your stats. It's like, oh, okay. And then check for this answer and then do this if X.
Yeah. Yeah.
So even in the task, you have to be incredibly specific. So that way you're like, oh, on that day, this popped up. I know exactly what I have to do. And I'm going to go in and you're going to do that task. And it's going to be like, okay, repeat the following month or repeat the following week.
Mm-hmm.
And so that you're doing it over time, because you can get overly consumed with trying to optimize your site all at once. And then you don't really know if things are working.
What you did worked because you can't tell.
Yes.
When you did what? Yeah, no.
And another thing to do is you can add annotations within Google Analytics, which I don't do, but you should, or at least journal about what you're doing so that you know that like, hey, okay, I went in and I moved this affiliate link up, or I took this page and added 2 more affiliate links. Set myself a reminder to go back a month later and check to see if the KPI or the number that I really wanted to increased or not.
Yeah.
And if it didn't do, so it is, there's a lot of discipline, and there's a lot of like, if you could set up a spreadsheet for yourself or an Asana project where you're just like, that's all you're doing is like once a month, you're going in and
I
doing
have
these
an
tasks.
Airtable spreadsheet that I go in.
Yeah.
It's a so I use ClickUp now, not Asana, but same
Mhm.
idea. The recurring task has kept me from like constantly checking my stats.
Yes.
It really does
Yes.
help a lot. It's weird because you're like, oh well, I know I'll do it. But yeah, and I think in Asana too, if I remember correctly, you could do comments. You could even
Yeah.
journaling could be in the task if you want.
Right. Yeah, especially if that task is recurring and it's just you, or if it's somebody else, great. But like, yeah, you can keep notes for yourself, which is something I definitely should do. Used to do. I don't do as much anymore.
I should be doing a lot better at Google Analytics and other things.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I have it all set up and I have it all tracked, and we are like, we do look at it. We make sure that things are working. It's just optimization is not really like, we've done so much of that over the years that it's like, how much more can you possibly optimize? Like you can. You can always optimize, but at what point does it make financial sense?
The
Like, is it
return on investment of that time?
it's like, well, yeah, why not write a new blog post that can gain way more traffic with, so it's like, yeah, you have to kind of weigh it out, which is why I say, do it once a month, do it, once a week if you have time, but try to keep it to like, it's a slow growing process to optimize over time. Do it all
in the long game.
It's a long game.
Okay. Hopefully this has given you a better understanding of how Google Analytics can help you improve your affiliate marketing. Be sure to join me next time to find out how you can learn all the latest blogging trends from some of the top names in blogging for free. I'll catch you then.